None that I'm aware of.
No more paperwork?
No, that's either been burned or sent electronically.
Okay, don't eat the food. You start making yourself hungry.
What's that?
I said, I guess you know how to find me.
I'm assuming you did have... Did you want to do the AI thing today? Because I have nothing planned at the moment. This is on my third day back.
Yeah, I'm not, like, how comfortable are you feeling right now?
I mean, if you have something to push, let's do it.
What we can do for the group, we have I'm not brain rotted right now, am I? We have a map that's basically a sci-fi lab, don't we? I mean, technically speaking, we can do it on the ship, but that would probably be a little...
We can probably pull up one of the Halo maps. Just do it there.
Let me take a look. Let me take a look, see, because I'm pretty sure I had one that fit the vibe I'm thinking of. Because what it would be is getting their, like, keyboard. I know you're disconnecting a lot, but could you fuck off, please? Christ. What I'm thinking for it is having it where they go into, like, a medical station and start getting themselves, like, scanned and monitored for it.
We could go to the Pillar of Autumn if we wanted to. But no, things would be on fire there. That wouldn't make sense. We do have the Destiny Towers.
Oh, right, we have the Destiny Tower. That would probably work. Don't we have, like, the newest version, too? Like, we have the more, like...
The Vestian Outpost. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can get that started then.
Because it was the... Is it brand new? Where is it? Yeah, we can go in there if you want. That would honestly be the Vestian outpost.
Yeah, I have I have it ready to drop a portal whenever.
Yeah, we can do one of the outposts there and see how it goes.
Okay.
And I think that would be a good one for them.
Yeah. The only reason I ask is I know we haven't progressed the story in a while, and I like to give them at least something to do that isn't just like a side quest or something.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's been kind of one of those things where it's like...
Well, because
actually, do you think
the pirate attack was about like 2 months ago, I think.
Yeah. Do you think the helm would be better? The HELM, like helm, the emergency logistics and maneuver.
We can do that one too.
Well, we
can try that one.
We'll try both. Why not? Fuck it, right? We'll try both.
Yeah, we can do that.
So yeah, we'll get the other one ready here pretty quick. And... Hi.
I don't have a fuck about it. I don't know why I immediately resorted to physically waving.
That's what I do.
Damn, I'm getting used to the webcam tracking, I guess.
Alright, everything looks good here.
Also, Nikki was gonna join today, but the PSVR 2 because you got the PSVR 2 headset
Mm-hmm.
for PC, but it requires a lot of like accessories to make it like really comfortable.
Gotcha.
So she's just trying to get those. But then she was gonna try using her index, but she doesn't have the thing like I do because I have a cable, like I have a USB mic that's connected to my headset for
Gotcha.
my Vive that like sits by my ear. But you could do that for the index as well. You can pop out the faceplate and put it inside the index, and it works, same way. Problem is she just doesn't have that or anything of that category, so there's not much she can do there.
Okay.
So she's like, I was gonna use the index and then realized I can't talk, so. But worst case scenario, what I'll be doing is I'll also be setting up like TextRP, like as forums
Yeah.
to make it easier for us to do stuff, to like really allow it to like build up and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I will start walking for now because me sitting around is kind of,
Making you tired?
yeah, it's gonna make me fall asleep, to be honest.
Yep. I get you. Do you want Landa to push the idea, or do you want me to?
I think it makes sense because your character is basically the vice captain.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah, and Lambda is Lambda.
Yeah.
Lambda is very much. She has no. She's like good at like being the information person if need be,
Mm-hmm.
but she is like. She has no like actual like logic behind most things.
Okay. Just give me the rundown again, what we're going for exactly.
Yeah, so what we'll be going down for is basically going to be going through a medical checkup.
Medical checkup, got it.
Yeah.
And no other
we have-
explanation than that for the crew at the moment? Would be like a need-to-know sort of thing?
They would just be told, like, it's a medical checkup. It's similar from the ones that would have gotten them into the Phantom
Yeah.
operation to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Alright, and will this be on the planet we're orbiting, or another station we're going to have to take the ship to?
It will be on one of the planets that we're orbiting or nearby, so it won't be very long.
Roger.
Makes it easier for them so they don't have to stress about it.
Okay, I will go inform them. Because I know we were a little bit late on time, so I'm not going to give too much time for social. Because right now I think people are just walking around with nothing to do. So let's go get that started.
To be honest, that's kind of what I'm doing too. As Lambda, I'm just literally, I exist.
Mm-hmm. Roger, I'll get that started then.
Yes, jokes aside with this character, she is entirely meant to be my relaxing character.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely looks the part. There's a little claw energy can pause.
Alright.
Also, we broke a door. This door is not closed. What was that?
Alright. These doors keep
I
breaking.
am not sure. I think Abby said something, but I don't know.
These doors keep breaking. Abby can't mute this crap. Oh well.
The thing I will have to do if I do work on Lambda's like quote unquote casual outfit is making sure she's like wearing something that is the equivalent of. I'm not sure what it means.
Hey.
Let me get up in here for a little bit.
We're being ordered to go somewhere, but I want everyone to go into the rec room for a moment so I can let everyone know at once. If you want to go in there and let anyone else know that you see.
Okay now.
Nah. We're being ordered somewhere. If you can wait in the rec room, I can tell everyone at once instead of hunting everyone down. Thank you. Oh, there's you. I hear the door is opening, but I don't know if it's the ghosts or it's just more electrical issues. Probably electrical.
I think it might be electrical issues.
Yeah, probably. Is Val in there as well?
I don't know. I just
Okay.
did it this way.
I think that's everyone on board for the moment then. Everyone's out doing their own business at the moment, but we have been given something to do from the dear old captain.
Hmm.
Alright. We have shit to do. Nothing exciting, but...
Alright.
Medical,
Already pulling out the guns.
medical checkup.
Oh, yeah.
I know, trust me.
Why do I feel we're gonna get poked a lot? I always get poked a lot.
Don't let him poke you.
Last time I did, and I got told that I was disobeying direct orders.
Ah.
They like their needles.
Lovely. Well, we don't have to travel very far. It's just one of the stations orbiting the planet, so it'll just take us a few minutes to get there.
How public is this information going to get?
You mean like our health records?
Correct.
Or phantoms? I doubt many people are gonna have that authorization.
I meant public and when we start group. I figured it wouldn't be streamed.
All information about phantom medical procedures will only go to above soldiers in high-ranking positions, aka anyone on the need-to-know basis,
Pretty much.
aka the captain.
Pretty much.
Alright. Don't make it difficult.
Up your date on your tetanus.
I had to get that updated when I walked through the wall by accident.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You might actually need to get tested more than me.
What, because you keep shoving my fucking head through the fucking wall?
You have many repair bills.
I'm aware. She won't stop pounding me about it. I think for you, we're gonna have somebody on standby that's more mechanically minded instead of, you know.
They've dealt with many different individuals. When during my original medical checkup, I had to deal with the man who was mostly machine. The only part of his body that wasn't seemed to be the top of his face. And his hair.
Interesting.
He had really nice hair,
Really?
but no jaw. It was just metal.
Interesting. Well, if you're hungry, eat something now and get something to drink. I imagine we'll be busy. So, there's food in the common room. I already ate when I woke up, so that should be good. Docking procedures, permissions. No, thank you. Make sure they don't eat too much. We don't want someone having we don't want someone having a fucking tummy ache when we get in there. Jeez.
Okay, where are we going? I forgot. Is it upstairs?
I don't think so. I just went over.
Alright.
I'm used to stuff being upstairs.
Alright, they'll be expecting us. We have correct permissions.
Okay.
Since it'll be with the...
Get in hangar.
Oh, should only be a few minutes more. Oh.
I consumed the recommended amount of calories for an excursion outside the ship.
How many is that exactly?
25,564 calories.
Holy shit.
I will go wait.
And I thought I ate a lot.
How the hell does she keep her figure? You know, whatever. Need to check one more thing. Be there just a minute. Shut down power there. We need to repair that. Alright. That should do it. Alright, we're just gonna be talking with them here in a minute.
Character breaking moment for a second. As soon as you just stared over it, holy shit, I almost started laughing immediately.
Mm-hmm. Why?
When I was like, I said the number and you just stared at me, holy shit. And I just the response was so genuine. I just almost fucking broke character immediately.
How the fuck does she keep her figure? What the fuck? Wait, then in my own head I'm like, wait, does it go all to her? Never mind.
The answer would be no.
To her brain, obviously. She's so smart and she needs all those calories for biotics she does. What the fuck do you think I meant?
The same thing everyone else does.
How dare you put me in that same category? Also, you're right. Fuck you.
The same thing that the Polly's constantly thinking of. Anyway.
No, what's really funny about the characters, the whole joke with it is, she burns calories whenever she uses her biotics, so whenever she goes outside the ship, they're like, consume enough calories in order to not die. Okay. Also, I hate whoever got home and started cooking.
Oh look, a completely placed bag of space chips.
That's crazy.
Yeah, also someone started cooking in the house, and I fucking hate them. Because it smells super fucking good, and I'm like, oh god, no. Why do you do this to me?
I still need to cook dinner after this. Buh.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it outside the door.
Roger.
Oh no, wait, I can put it right there. I can put it right there. It fit.
Why is everything exploding in the background? Oh.
Way in the weird spots of things.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well, I have to basically hide Lambda for a bit and use a different area. Give me a second.
Sorry if Val seems a little off today. I'm just tired, so I don't think I'm doing her right.
You're fine.
It's your character. It's one of those things.
I'm just tired. So.
How far can I go on this? All the way here? Oh shit, a turbine! Oh, it's a whole sound to want to die. Interesting.
Oh, did you get a death sound?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What doesn't do that?
Just...
Feel bad for Elias, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Poor boy was really fucking excited for today.
Also, I don't know if the bus is actually coming.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I have a little bit of a theory that he might have fallen asleep.
Possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Impostally.
I'll kill you.
Back in the corner with you. Oh god. Alright.
Fine, I'm moving out with the cow of cows or whatever the fuck that guy says.
Yes, I know my keyboard is broken. Quit. There we go. May have to fix it though. Realizing that cutout is missing on here, and I don't think he put head caps on this one.
That one and the other one can be sure you talk about nightcaps.
Yeah, so we'll probably go back to these ones and work on them a little bit. That's fine. Just basically a medical officer, pretty much.
Enjoy your smug faces.
Don't worry. So we'll go through this a little bit with the other characters and stuff like that, and I'll put a summary for Phantoms later. So that people got it as well. For context, for like Lambda, just for purpose of her here, because she's also weirder, she's basically in another section of the ship.
She got sent to the biotic side of things, yeah.
Yeah. So for the
medical people be informed beforehand of Val's condition, or is this going to be a surprise to them?
They would roughly have, they basically have any past medical information being given to them under, like, you know, professional obligations. So pretty much, yeah, they won't really go into it in full details. They're basically here for specific pieces of information. Also, my fucking kidneys feel like they're shutting down. That's a weird feeling. I must have pulled a muscle in my back. That's something to keep an eye on. Put your guns away. This isn't a doctor's office. Alright. No guns in the doctor's office. Alrighty.
It's my emotional support gun.
You'd arrive and basically be greeted right away, but we can start pretty soon here.
Okay.
Alright, I'll start giving the countdown so y'all don't have to stress. Alright. In 5, 4, Macarena, 3, 2, 1, begin. Hello and welcome.
Hello?
We would normally have a few extra staff greet you all, but given the fact that it seems a fair few of your members are on different missions right now, we figured it would be a bit more cost effective to leave it to just a few.
Makes sense.
Mostly myself. And given the fact that one of your other individuals needed a bit more attention, I'm sure it will be fine.
Right. I'm assuming a different department
Alright.
for some of her capabilities.
Yes, as well as the fact that sometimes when, well, last time she was here, she accidentally threw one of our associates through a window.
Ah.
Yes, we're used to that, but at the same time, it did catch one of us off guard. We are used to dealing with different people of certain augmentations, but
Right.
from what I remember of the documents for her, she is quite unique in that regard.
Hmm.
For the rest of you, you are doing relatively well, but we should definitely see if there's any augments that you are either needing or will be wanting later.
Hmm.
So if you'll follow me, we will... Well, there's different stations that you'll be able to go to, but for right now, we're just going to go over here.
Alright.
Also, don't mind the mess. We've had to change a few things out. Given the fact that a bunch of associates seem to leave a large amount of weapons around, we're making sure things are good. As it
Weapons.
sits, how is it? Yes, the cache is right there. We deal with combat medical details and augments that do have to do with increasing your combat capabilities.
No, fair
So
enough.
sometimes we have to be a bit more cautious.
Hmm.
There are individuals that we've been trying to help improve their abilities so far. Though, recently we've definitely been prioritizing dealing with the Phantoms and other agents of different groups. Though it seems to be, for a lot of us, that the Phantoms may be a bit more of a priority than they used to be. But I think that's more of a positive for you.
Hmm.
As it sits, how is everyone's Omni tools or other devices?
Fine on my end.
Yeah,
Alright.
works well.
Seems like everything is working fine. You can come over here and get any type of BIOS updates if you need them. Do you have any of the combat updates for them, or simply just not available yet?
I can't think of any updates for myself.
Oh.
I
If you come
don't
over
really
to these
know much
tunnels,
about
you
this
can...
stuff, so.
There's different updates for the Omni tool that you can do. One of them being, quite frankly, just basic combat tools, hard light tools, shielding, so on and so forth. If it fits what you do, perfect. If not, then there's not really a point to it.
I mean, all I really got now is the... This worked fine for me.
I just
Well, yours punches shit.
punch harder.
Oh, yours hacks in the thing as well. I don't think I have that.
Yeah, I got
Most
just
Omni
punch
tools have a
things.
bit of a standard hacking augmentation, but given how, well, solid looking yours is, we should probably see about getting it a bit more of an update, but a BIOS update will at least do you some good.
Right. It's just...
Don't worry. As it sits, if you ever need any updates, we are more than welcome to help.
Mm-hmm.
And these updates don't require drilling back in, right?
No, the original procedure is relatively fine. You should be good now.
Oh, shit. 4 updates behind. It's fine.
That's fine. You're definitely not the worst. We've had far, far worse.
This is
There's
also
just
true.
one to argue that your house first and everything else were behind.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. I've been busy.
If it makes you feel any better, your captain tends to be constantly outdated.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm aware. I'm a saint compared to that woman.
Just two.
Hmm.
As it sits, we have most of your previous medical knowledge put on file here. I don't think we need anything from down there for right now, but we can go over here. Again, we are definitely cleaning up the area. This originally wasn't supposed to be our medical area, but...
Someone's doing something over here.
I mean, we do deal with all types of cultures.
This is also true.
But,
I also see the
but,
Kendall Memorial.
yes.
Fair enough.
We had an issue a while ago dealing with certain things, and a lot of people have, different religions and ways of dealing with loss. And as people on the medical side, but also people who understand, or try to be as understanding as possible, we make sure we don't discriminate. As it sits for most of this here, I know that most of you have been updated to having a bit more moving delivery options for information. But there's a few things that the Phantoms have been told to have been updated. Mostly this is quote-unquote your consent forms.
I feel like we don't get much choice in the say anyway, so...
I mean, there's certain things that you would be definitely told that we wouldn't do, but for aspects right now, this is simply doing mostly with augments of different types to make sure that you're all comfortable, as well as synergy augmentation.
True enough.
One of the big reasons we are doing most of the updates is to see who is compatible with certain types of synergy. The captain finished hers a while ago, but she never really brings it up, I assume. But this is one of the main reasons for the Phantom program. Please step up to do so. I'll have everything once we get up there, and we'll begin to do all the scanning to make sure all of your biometrics are well. Tell me, when you all signed up for the Phantoms, did you know what you were signing up for, or just simply...
Nah, I was kind of pushed into it. And I saw it as a way of moving up in the world a bit. Gotta do better than parents.
Yes. The Phantom program has definitely been something that I would say, at least from conversations I've had with people, it's a bit more of a hush-hush program.
I wasn't exactly fully informed of what I was signing up for.
I don't think anyone does.
Most people, when they sign into the military practice, are basically given a rough estimate of their own biology, as well as the different medical updates. Though, due to different procedures that have been going on recently, especially with the Phantoms, the Loyalists, the Veritas, and so on and so forth, certain medical procedures needed to be taken accounted for, as well as updated for. For example, I can give a bit of a detailed explanation, but most Veritas have to go under a severe amount of medical procedures as well as examinations to test compatibility for certain things. Some Loyalists fall into that category as well, depending on their specializations. Phantoms are a mix of most things. You specialize all across the board: heavy armor, spec ops, so on and so forth. You are people who are able to adapt to most situations, but not change up things. though their biology or augmentations or your medical synergy, even if you're, again, connected mostly via machinery, means you are adequate participants for the Phantom program. The Phantom program is basically the equivalent of trying to find a balance between all stations and excel in all of them. The procedure that we're looking at right now is simply a scanning procedure. It'll go through your biops and make sure that you are compatible with certain types of situations. If you'd like to stand at the central area, one of you at least,
I'll go for it.
I can explain while the procedure is going. But when it's set, here, let me just start it up.
I need to stand still.
You don't, as long as you're in the area that is designated by the platform here, you should relatively be fine. And don't worry, it will not register me in here. One of the biggest reasons for myself is I've already been loaded into the database as an anomaly. Therefore, if it registers me, it simply removes it from the equation. And to be honest, I can literally click on you and select that this is the one I want to scan, and the computer's smart enough to know. At least most of the time. It has tried to give us genetics for a mouse that walked in one time, and that was very awkward for the poor person. Anyway, we'll give it a few minutes here. Don't mind, but I'll just talk while you're going through that.
Alright.
It's a boring procedure.
I was going to say, has it messed up any more times than just the mouse?
Not really. It's a pretty straightforward. It simply scans your biometrics and brainwaves and so on and so forth. It does a very rough estimate for some things, but it goes through the things that we need quite well. Given the fact that most of you are equipped with Omni tools, it can also attach to that and make sure that that is working properly as well. Any augments in your body will be registered automatically, as well as any slots that you may have available for further augmentation, or the possibility that certain augments could be recommended to you in the future. What we're trying to do right now is go on assistant synergy compatibility.
Right.
And forgive me, but what constitutes an augment? Like, machinery or other?
Well, for example, your individual that had to go into the separate room, a large amount of her body consists of multiple augmentations, probably since her birth. Would not surprise me if she's gone through similar things to make her more compatible with her biotics. It's also showed that she, in herself, emits some sort of biotic energy almost constantly that prevents her from taking certain things. From what we can understand, it deregulates her brainwaves sometimes and makes it harder for her to process certain thoughts. It's also the reason why we keep her around you as a group as more of a positive role model. She's incredibly good at following orders, but not able to really pull up consistent thoughts. Your captain's thought is that will help her if she's around people who are giving her more decisive actions.
So she's the gun, we're just the one holding the gun, basically.
Roughly.
That's fair. Doesn't she see like biotic implants as well? Like inhibitors or amplifiers? If I remember correctly.
She has several biotic implants and several biotic amplifiers, so most of her augments are designed to make her biotics extremely powerful, and seems to be, at least on the biotic side, she seems a lot newer than most that I've dealt with, but she also, at least from what I've seen for the biotics, they do not seem to give her any type of negative feedback, at least that I can find. Unlike the captain and a few others, we definitely do try and keep track of most biotics. Your captain, for example, is a second generation biotic, so every once in a while she has to come in for migraines and muscle spasms, though her symptoms are quite mild compared to some other ones we've seen over the years. luckily these days, most of the biotics have had their, well, the newer generation have had their augments adapted to be less invasive and less medically
The technology's gotten better with
problematic.
time, basically.
Roughly. It also is a situation along the lines of most people have actually taken into account that if you agree to something doesn't always mean that you should have the worst version of it.
Right.
Now, as it sits, and if I'm looking at this, you should be about done in 30 seconds.
I was about to ask. Let's stand here for a minute.
Don't worry, it just takes a while for certain things.
No, I imagine.
Now, the reason why we're doing all the scanning right now is simply to check your compatibility with certain types of augments, as well as compatibility with one of the programs that the Phantoms were originally brought together for.
Hmm.
And what's that?
Do I get a lady in my
There's
head that
an
calls me
AI
Stud
program.
Movin'? Hmm.
Mostly referred to as the weapons program.
Okay.
Most of the information has been put down as the weapons program, but as it sits, its compatibility with certain types of machina,
What?
or in the common term, the mechas of the heavy armor division.
Hmm. Was Julian part of that program? I'm thinking of something else, probably. Nah, just thinking about Julian.
Roughly. He's also a bit of a special case, but he's
Yeah.
been brought in as a person. You can leave the platform now and someone else can step forward.
Right.
I'll really need to do the manual one so I can do the rest from here. Start scan. The weapons program is designed to synergize certain individuals with a AI that will allow them to be... Well, their combat performance will increase significantly. It will also allow them to be connected to a certain type of machine that, well... It is based off of some older technology, but... Well, I would say lost technology. But the information behind it is quite outstanding. Technically speaking, 2 of your members have already gone through the process and have shown very well compatibility for this program. They do quite well, in fact.
Who would that be?
It's almost... Oh. I'm trying to remember the names of the one. He was a very charming fellow. The other one would be your captain, of course. Originally, it was supposed to be giving you 9 specific ones, but unfortunately some things happened with individuals of that, and we're not sure anymore. So, from what we have understood, at least from our information, the relative AIs that we have fall under a category of at least 7.
Okay. What does that mean?
Means we have 7 AIs.
Well, more or less, what are the different kinds?
Their personalities are aggressively different. But one of the big things is one that's used by the captain is considered more quiet and calm. More robotic, I would say, in the way of personality. It's interesting that they should be compatible with that one, given her more unique and very unofficial personality. But at least the records show that the compatibility is relatively good. Usually the way that the AIs consider each other is they go by the number that they are assigned when they are generated. And even if what we learned about recently was 2 of the AIs disappeared, we did offer a name change to the AIs, and they refused outright.
Hmm.
Two of the AIs were reclassified as a different title, number 1 and number 2. They had been completely changed and brought into a different program. So 3 to 9 stayed on board. Your captain uses one referred to as 9. Well, 9 of 7, I guess, would be the way that they terminology themselves. As for the other one, that one I need to still see the confirmation orders for. But it's a gentleman that's... I don't remember his biology off the top of my head. I wasn't one of the ones dealing with them. A very friendly chap.
A part of our group, right?
Yes, I'm trying to remember.
Unfortunately, I'm blanking on the name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. The very soft-spoken one, right?
Yeah.
We got 2 of those.
If I recall, he usually has, well, black and gray armor with blue LEDs.
I believe that is the one, correct. I know the big fellow is...
From a conversation, he classified his race as Chimera.
Oh, right.
Something like that.
If I'm remembering correctly, it would be of that regard. But yes, that one would be the other one. He showed a large compatibility for certain things. The classification goes under a certain material thing. For your captain, she sits under the Emerald class. As for the other individual, he sits under Ruby class. There's different classifications as we get your compatibility, but we'll be sorting that out over time and getting that figured out. The machina, or the mechas that are being assigned to each classification as well, are specialized in their own right.
Right.
They're being designed to basically give you all types of experiences, as well as even if you are not well gifted in using those type of machines, you will be able to adapt to them quite easily and figure it out from there. And also, if you are compatible with one of the main AIs, you will be able to use them quite well. If you are not compatible, well, unfortunately, there will not be much I can do in there, but given the Phantom program, that means you are significantly compatible in other things, which can mean a multitude of inclusions. Only a few more seconds on yours. It seemed to have run into a small error, but it seems fine. Mostly probably just the computer freezing for a brief second. Not a big deal. It should have been calculated for you. Oh yes, it just didn't take in the calculation on time. My mistake. I must have not put in the proper command. As it sits though, one of the big things. Huh? 2 more seconds, it needs to finish the proper diagnostic. When you find out, if we're able to find out the compatibility of certain things, we'll be able to figure out which synergy works with you, as well as where we're going to be keeping certain aspects. You'll also be going through your combat expertise over time and making sure everything is good to go. Once this is all figured out, of course, we'll be getting you to, well, if you are compatible, you will have a slot or augmentation slot put in to allow you direct contact with the weapon as well as the AI assistant. It is, unfortunately, the best way I could describe it, a very invasive procedure.
Where invasively?
Roughly in the back of your head.
Lovely.
On the bright side, it will allow for things like additional combat expertise, as well as something I've learned recently. Certain individuals are able to access more advanced forms of combat.
Well, I already got this shit in my hand, so what's on the back of the head? Potentially.
You also have to deal, if you're lucky, you'll have to deal with someone who might talk to you a lot.
Lovely.
So, now there is obviously privacy settings and things like that that you can make sure that you both are not overly grinding on each other's gears. We're making sure that the social aspect of it is taken care of. But when it comes to anything else, it will be up to you to figure out where it sits.
After we in general get those chips in the back of head, if we're the lucky one, then how gentle do we need to be around each other? Is it something like one wrong hit and they can fry a skull?
No, the way that we'll be doing is making sure that the augments are put in quite well. We've actually had several procedures of similar things. The AIs that we're using are more specialized. They come from a zero candidate, but one of the things that we are definitely keeping tabs on is making sure that any individuals that go through these procedures are going through it in a relatively pain-free way, and that they're not more likely to die. Also, it's done now. You're more than welcome to step off, and we'll get your last member put through.
That was my other question. What's the mortality rate on this procedure?
As of recent, we haven't had a... Well, the previous versions where they attempted something similar did have a very high mortality rate, but this one is definitely less. We actually originally were having loyalists go through a similar procedure, but only a few were considered truly compatible. But they weren't having AIs of the zero candidacy. And there was one individual that showed to excel quite well, despite the fact that, now, to be honest, her augments were a little aggressive. Though, unfortunately... No, from what I understand, she came from one of the higher-up families. Basically one of those things of having a lot to prove to herself. Which is respectful given the fact of two Veritas being of the same family.
Huh, go figure.
That's another thing I don't know too much about, being from originally a tribe before, joining the military. What are Veritas exactly?
Originally, from my understanding, Veritas started off as being high commanding officials in the army. No, when you look at the history, they've definitely been around a long time. The title is something of a bit more significance. They are the military leaders of Tartarus, is the best way I can put it.
I know that much, but what makes them special?
I'm not entirely
There's
at
always high
liberty.
regard for them. I figure that they're either excellently skilled in combat or something different.
Most of them are considered extremely skilled in combat, as well as other things. They're compatible with almost everything that they touch. One of the big primary people that I understand would be the one of, well, he goes by the Veritas of Flame. That would be Gafgarian. He definitely had to put in a lot of effort during certain situations, as well as different uprisings. He's a very strong leader, and he's one of the people that leads a lot of the heavy factions around Tartarus.
I was going to say, forgive me if I'm wrong, but he also one of the more main generals, so to say.
You would be correct. He's a very prominent individual. He's very well known. He can be firm and a bit harsh sometimes, but he's very respectful to soldiers. Now, when it comes to other things, I believe one of the big things if we're to talk about the Veritas is definitely that one procedure that they go through. I know it is a constantly redacted and kept in their hush-hush, but I do know they go through a procedure that takes a large amount of training as well as compatibility testing to make sure that they are able to go through it. All I know is it's something that predates most of our history. The Veritas were originally created via the Founding War. We know that much, but the procedures on creating them is not always consistent.
So we're talking.
Seems a lot of the history.
So we're talking like what, founding planet type shit?
Correct. I'm not fully engrossed on history, given that it's not my specialty, but one of the big things I remembered coming across at one point was that the Veritas were created as a way to tip the scales during a war. Their powers exceed most of the soldiers. And then goes to people like the Loyalists and the Agents. The ones that would be in a similar regard to most of what the Veritas and the the Veritas go through, and as well the Loyalists, would be that of the Phantoms. From what we have been given, most of the Phantoms are... Your candidacy specializes you for a specific group, or most groups. Depending on your combat experience as well as other things, it would even dictate that some of you would be even considered up for those of a Veritas category. I do not want to make you feel like you are up there.
Oh, shit.
But one of the huge things that I'll say is, when it comes to the medical documents that are put down for those of the Veritas, you definitely file into some of the categories we have from history documents.
On the call.
However, given everything else I've been told, the Phantoms are definitely more in line for certain specializations.
Ooh, exciting.
Unfortunately, one candidate that we did have at one point that I wish we could have kept looking into, at least from what I was told, has unfortunately passed on due to an accident on a mission.
Jesus.
There was a few others that we had looking into things, but we're definitely looking into replacements for certain individuals. Some candidates were on more dangerous missions before we realized that they were perfect candidates for certain types of groups, and before we could get the information out, we were given the information of unfortunate passings.
Ugh. Nasty business.
It's unfortunate, but that does happen every once in a while. Military is not exactly the most safe career.
Man, that's the truth.
Now, when it comes to the compatibility for you all, we'll have to see how it goes.
Something, is
I
that,
am not at liberty to...
is that something we're gonna learn today, or is that something that has to be deliberated and looked over?
I will not be processing the scans that I'm giving you. I'll be simply passing them on to the others who will be able to check compatibility.
I take it slightly confidential, considering what we are.
Yes. I mean, I am able to check your documents and can help where needed, of course, but end of the day, I'm not the one who's specializing in the weapons program. Therefore, I can't say. I'm just here to provide as much medical information as possible, and give you guys augments when needed, and provide any type of wittiful banter I may be able to provide at some point. Though that is definitely a bonus.
I'll take it, yeah.
Alrighty. I believe yours should be relatively done. About give it 10 more seconds. And you should be good. One thing I will say, at least for certain parts, we'll definitely have to keep an eye on things and see how they go.
Right.
Though, one piece of information I will give you is, at least from what I was told, there will be some sort of personality test. I'm not quite sure, but at least it's something to do with the way that those AIs are designed.
No,
Understood.
if you had someone stuck in your head, I hope they'd be compatible. Personality-wise or otherwise.
Yes, you won't have to worry about them being permanently stuck there. I know for a fact you can have them removed. They're also allowed to have an exo chassis that will be around to give you a more peer-to-peer response.
Oh boy.
I have no idea how any of their personalities are, unfortunately, or I'd give you some sort of warning. You should be good now.
I have a feeling if there's a personality test in place as well, knowing the personalities might skew the data a little.
From what we're told, the AIs have been given a bit more... Well... The AIs were given a large amount of details about the Phantoms themselves, as well as any potential candidates coming in or potentially joining later. Certain people have been scanned and are simply waiting to be processed to come over, while other individuals are, well, being monitored to see as long as they are a potential fit. There's also the thing that will be put down, which will be the sub-0 category, I should say. They're not going to be the numbered ones, but they might be ones that will be compatible later. I don't know the details of that one, but it might be something worth keeping an eye out for as well.
Checks out.
Given how the main ones are the numbered ones, though it seems that there will probably be 5 left over, given everything. I understand the first 2, at least 1 and 0, or not 1 and 0, sorry. 1 and 2 were reassigned, renamed, and put down under a different program. From what I understand, their compatibility with being synergized with a person was not great.
Can we at least get the chance? Or is that just not an option?
They would more likely fry your brain.
Ah, they're homicidal.
I don't think my heat resistance can
Neat.
help on that end.
Not necessarily homicidal, but their brains are, well,
Complicated.
they're unable to regulate certain things and requires a large amount of processing. For example, when they have been put inside exo suits, they tend to burn them out.
Ah.
The one that was very much a potential one for the group would have been the first one, which has definitely been put down as alpha now.
Hmm.
The problem is both of them seem to talk in, well, they're very personal, is the best way to put it. They're very human, but they're almost unstable when it comes to more emotional aspects of things. And given an AI that can think at 1,000,000 thoughts a second, someone having an emotional meltdown inside an individual's head is probably not a good thing to even risk.
Why not just decommission them then if they're that much of an issue?
Given the information that we were told, well, one, they do have very much, they are AIs. They may be artificial, but they definitely have personalities and have their own thing. We're not exactly about to sit down and destroy them if they're not an immediate threat. They would definitely cause issues with others, but right now, most of the time, they're simply kept in dormancy. From what I understand, there will be suits that will be created to make them a bit more able to be out and about, but it might simply be to just make them comfortable until eventually they burn themselves out. They're being treated as citizens. They're at least being given somewhat respect from what I was being told. They are considered a little bit dangerous, but they're not going out their way trying to connect to a person.
Interesting.
The best way I was described of them is most of them would, at least most of the AIs of this category, would be considered closer to that of, well, teenage rambunctiousness or young adults.
Ah.
So hopefully you like being more of a teacher. They're quite intelligent, though.
I would hope so. Intelligence is in the name.
Yes, yes. As it is for the two that were not able to be processed for this, it is regretful, but they were hoping to at least find someone that might have been compatible with one of them, but that is not put down yet. At least not someone they're willing to risk. Though I'm very terrified of the type of individual that would be able to house an AI that's, well, burnt out different terminals just from merely having a conversation.
That'd be interesting.
I mean,
As a joke, I highly doubt fire resistance would really help.
no, the best way I could describe what most people are worried would happen to a person is the equivalent of all of your synapses in your brain basically firing at once to the point that your brain explodes.
These probably be a cool way to go out.
I wouldn't think. Probably not.
No, it's not exactly the most entertaining way. You just simply fall over.
Well, you made it sound cooler than it was.
I mean, if you were to give yourself a bioscan during the time, you'd probably see your brain light up the entire imaging before your eventual demise.
To put in perspective, around 20% of your brain's used every now and then. Not only 20%, but 20% depends on the area. If 100% is used 100% of the time, then something's gone terribly wrong. Your body wouldn't be able to handle the amount of, well, energy that would require.
The potentiality of the AIs is allow you to be able to process things a lot faster, as well as give yourselves more adaptive information.
At the one chance it gives me my
If
neuroscience
the AI
knowledge.
synergizes with you properly, your ability to use specific things will increase exponentially. For example, you could probably simply have more combat training inputted into you, rather than going through rigorous amounts of training. Is it a bit of a cheat? Yes, but also at the same time, it makes it a lot easier for on-the-fly adaptation. Now, we'll have to test the compatibility for everyone else involved. Unfortunately, I know some people were unable to make it, but we'll go through the compatibility tests as time goes on.
Given what we're up against, it'll be nice to have extra help.
I'll put down any information that I see that might be useful for you all. If anything does pop up, I can easily give more information as I am privy to it. As I think most of my other colleagues are probably still dealing with the other things.
We at least hear someone crashing through a wall, so that's probably a positive.
Yes, she seems a lot more docile this time. I think it was because the first time we did do her biological scan, she was, well, still new to being awake, from my understanding. I don't know her full details, but she definitely seems to be an interesting one.
Is her official?
Well, from what I understand with your companion that came down with you, she is... Well, we're not sure if she is a biologically produced individual. There is symbolization on her that look proper and all, and everything seems to add up. Her personality is normal, but her ability to absorb different types of augments, as well as take in different bits of information, as well as her biotic energy, is not normal. From my understanding, she's completely incapable of having any type of AI synergy with her, but at the same time, I don't think she would fit for it either. That's from the personal aspect. She's too passive. The AIs need someone who's going to think with them as well as make the decisions and help them learn. She almost files into the same category that the AIs are going to be.
More malleable
And
than like well structured.
She acts very young.
This is true.
There's a few individuals I've seen that have been put down for the Phantom program that do feel like they fit into that category a little bit, but that's a different one. She's not going to be someone I would say will be particularly had stories written about her. She's strong, but she's more of a key that fits into certain positions.
Well, we're all keys for the military in some way. Just different holes that need to be filled.
This may come off as a little harsh, but given the medical thing is, at least from my perspective, most of you were picked because you specialize or you showed astounding skill. She was picked because she was useful.
It makes sense.
Or perhaps simply taken pity on, given her how she was acquired. I mean, from my understanding, basically the captain is considered her foster parent, so...
That checks out. She kind of dotes over her own way a little bit. That checks out.
Yes, it's not too crazy, but also at the same time it does make sense. She was orphaned, probably due to some strange procedure, given everything that's been done. But she simply exists to assist. She's definitely not one that I would say is a compatible one for the weapons, but if anything, depending on how well the group fits her and makes her work, there's possibly other programs she can fit in for to help with the Phantoms. And we'll see how everything goes.
Most definitely.
But yes, I shouldn't keep you too long today. It would not be good of me. Besides, I think there's a few other places you might be able to stop by if you need any additional weapons, look up, or research. I'm not sure. I was just simply told that there's another area or another station you're able to go to.
Might as well take a look.
I will be sitting around and making sure that any of your other associates that do end up coming this way will be put down. But I'll also send down the information to your ship in case they get back late to come by and go through the procedures themselves.
Alright. Thank you very much.
Oh, of course. You've definitely done well. None of you died randomly due to panicking over procedure. I won't say that that's happened before, but we've had someone at least have a situation of loud noises was very bad for them.
Interesting.
Yes, sometimes people aren't exactly cut out for military life, and it shows.
That's fair.
Yes, but as it goes down, I will make sure the shuttle is for you right away, and I will be taking care of any of the documents and sending them over.
Appreciate that.
Understood.
Do try not to die out there.
That's the plan.
Yes, I would feel very annoyed if all of this medical information went down the drain because potential candidates for this project decided to go and throw themselves in front of bullets.
I'd rather
Or
be...
plasma, or open space.
Very true. Interesting. What? What are you pointing at me for? What are you shaking your head for? What? You gonna say something?
Don't stand in front of bullets.
I didn't plan to.
You thought about it.
What? When did I say I was gonna stand in front of bullets, like, make myself a target? When the hell was that uttered? Well, I guess now we just wait for Lambda? Shuriken is there.
I guess so.
I'm surprised you hadn't heard of the Veritas. Well, at least the more important ones.
Like I said, I know nothing about them. I've heard of them.
Right, I figure that.
Due to the classes, I at least heard of them. But other than that, I don't know much more about them.
Right. But to hear their uses go that far back, it's been interesting. And these AI will potentially be paired up with.
What's your thoughts?
There's pros and cons. Upside, think faster, better decision making. someone in your head to help you with decisions and might see something that otherwise we'd miss. Downside, you got someone else in your head.
You will have no privacy.
Eh, a little bit. Man, that shuttle sounds like shit. Someone should check the rotors on those landing gear. Yep, there it is. Oh, we're gonna die. It's gonna crash into the fucking sun. Oh well.
It's fine.
Alright. Ugh. What the fuck is this?
This is the helm.
What's helm? Oh, it's also from Destiny. Ew.
Helm is where the brain is.
No, that's the mitochondria.
This one's dying, so we might end up having to
Postpone this?
start postpone it. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Work has kicked the shit out of me today.
That's fine. It's alright, you're allowed to be tired. That's allowed. Oh man, is this the penis explosion chamber? Engram. I hardly know her.
Also, by the way, if you actually look at the avatar details for this one, you can see the icon for it, and that's basically the reason why I always have fucking issues trying to find her. Because I look for her face, and I forget that's what I have as the image.
Let me have a look. Why? Change the picture! It takes like
Because
2 minutes.
No, it takes a while. It's
What does
the
it?
reason why is I thought it was funny, and it.
Are you regretting
It
your
is
choices
funny.
now? Are you regretting your choices now?
Yes, I just need to take that picture and add her hair to it, then I'll be fine.
I hate it here. I can't believe this. This is. Engrams are stored in the balls.
Funny Ingram.
You unlocked a white rarity weapon.
Fuck. Spent $20 on that engrave.
The fuck is all this bullshit? What the hell?
It is a Destiny processing area that they basically monitor different things, and it's
Oh,
basically the equivalent-
God. Oh, man, is the music localized to that one area?
Yeah.
Oh, trust me. I do have a lot of the Destiny files. I do actually plan on probably redoing them to make them
Yeah.
better and less,
Mhm. Let's shite.
less shite.
Mm.
Because some of these are... This one's definitely... When they're made by specific people, they're fucking gorgeous. But when they're made by, like, a couple others, they're just like, yeah, this is mid as fuck.
I think I found the patrons. I think.
Nah.
No, never mind. No, I'm lying. Ignore me. Let me go. Let me leave.
I can't believe patron generate crash info file.
Right, what a fucking dickhead. Okay, we can postpone for next time then.
Yeah, one of the things for here will just be simply you getting like monitoring things, but most of the Destiny areas will just be like quote unquote hub locations.
Alright.
Again, I'm sorry.
Don't apologize.
You are-
You're fine.
I'm gonna be honest, you're perfectly fine. I think the weather fluctuation was starting to give me a bit of a headache. Because I was starting to feel it when I was talking.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was stumbling over my words a bunch of times.
Gotcha.
What's up?
Listen, I found 2 places you might be interested in.
Your voice changer, hun.
The voice changer makes it a little hard for me to hear, especially with the way my ears hear audio.
I said I think I found 2 places you might be interested in.
Eh?
I still need to look at those Metroid Prime maps again. Because no one of them is broken. The other one...
One of them was broken.
One of them is broken, the other one is... It would good for like a dungeon.
Here, why don't we just explore a tiny little bit and
Yeah.
see what we can look at for stuff?
Yep, I'm gonna end my stream real quick in the meanwhile then.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone. See ya.